A South African company has sold 9 short takeoff and landing Mwari aircraft to multiple air forces. Paramount Group, the plane's manufacturer, made the announcement Wednesday during the Africa Aerospace and Defense Expo. The company added that the plane is used for reconnaissance and precision strikes, and that it can carry multiple systems. The company did not provide contract values or customers for the Mwari, but did tell Defense News that one is an African Air Force. The much-anticipated B-21 Raider bomber will be unveiled to the public for the first time in early December. The Air Force Acquisitions Chief Andrew Hunter told reporters that other details of the rollout are still being finalized. It will be the first time the Air Force has unveiled a new bomber since the B-2 Spirit's November 1988 debut at Air Force Plant 42 in Palmdale, California. The B-2's first flight took place on July 1989. The new Northrop Grumman-made bomber so far has only been glimpsed in concept art. Its first flight is expected to come sometime in 2023, a few months after the rollout. Northrop said in a press release that after Hunter's announcement that the date of the first flight will be set based on the results of ground tests. There are now 6 B-21 test aircraft being assembled at Northrop Grumman's Palmdale facility. Greece is working to ramp up its domestic drone industry, which has lagged behind other European countries, with the development of the locally made Archytas aircraft. Hellenic Aerospace Industry presented the vertical takeoff and landing drone for the first time at the Thessaloniki International Exhibition earlier in September. Billed as a multi-purpose drone, Archytas is capable of operating in both rescue and military operations. The company says it can be used to provide situational awareness of the land and sea borders of Greece, to monitor ground vehicles, but also to accompany frigates, as it has the ability to immediately detect unmanned marine vehicles moving at high speeds. The U.S. Army awarded L3Harris and Raytheon Applied Signal Technology Phase 2 contracts to develop sensors in support of a next-generation airborne intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance program known as HADES. The Army says the latest other transaction authority agreements for the high-accuracy detection and exploitation system total $18 million. The overall value of the prototyping project over the course of 3 phases is $49 million. During the competitive second phase, the 2 defense firms will advance designs and build electronic and communications intelligence sensors that are both more sensitive and more capable of working at higher altitudes, ranges, and speeds. The U.S. Air Force B-52H Stratofortress bombers just wrapped up Bomber Task Force Europe, a month-long training mission in the United Kingdom. This time around, the planes flew with NATO allies and partner countries. They were escorted by Norwegian F-35s and flew training missions with Balkan allies around their peninsula. The goal of the mission? They wanted to get to better know European airspaces and allied air forces. NATO says the B-52 is a long-range deterrent because it can fly long-endurance missions and carry a wide spectrum of ordnance.
So the B-52 is one of our most capable Air Force assets and is capable of launching and employing almost every single weapon type that the Air Force is capable of using. Everything from maritime support through mining operations to standoff weapons and smart precision-guided munitions for air-to-ground employment.
And in news from the recent Air and Space Forces Association conference, Air Force Chief of Staff General C.Q. Brown talked about the ramifications from the discovery of Chinese alloy in American F-35s. Here's what he had to say about the discovery and how the U.S. sources rare minerals.
So particularly to the F-35, the magnet that was in question doesn't transmit info or harm the integrity of the aircraft. I've had a chance to talk to Lockheed Martin leadership about a little bit about this as well. There's no performance or quality risks that are associated in the flight ops of the in-service fleet isn't impacted. From a broader standpoint, whether it's minerals or the like, but I do I do think we as a nation with our allies and partners are all looking at our supply chains of where our supplies come from. COVID has probably all taught us a bit of a lesson or two about that. Current events also teach us a few lessons about this. And so for all of us, it's taking a hard look of where we get our supplies from and understanding that and what the impact might be, particularly if you're going to go into a crisis, contingency, or a conflict. The better we understand that today, the better posture we'll be in the future. And that's something we got to focus on.